Good morning and welcome to Newswatch today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Austin Mickey. The Evangel Senior Art Exhibit is approaching.
And AGTS has some great news for students pursuing their masters.
Titus Smith is here with your forecast and your latest sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
I'll tell you what, Austin, we have some good news coming up, but I think the most interesting thing we have is the solar eclipses this week.
Oh no, I'm really excited.
I think Titus is going to tell us a little bit, maybe not yet, but let's hear what he has to say so far. What's this week look like, Titus?
Well, we're looking at a fairly good day today with a little bit chillier temperatures. The low is going to be a temperature of 39 degrees with a humidity of 68. Winds at about 9 miles an hour, so that's probably going to add a little bit more chill to that 39 we're looking at. But it will be sunny, no clouds, and it'll only get sunnier as the day goes on. We're going to look at a high of 58, same humidity and wind speed, but overall a pleasant day. Wear a bigger jacket. But I'll have more of the full week in my full forecast, as well as that eclipse news. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Titus. I'm excited to hear about what it's kind of going to look like for us.
I know. I mean, the last time we had a solar eclipse, I think I was in the 8th grade, so maybe I can enjoy it more this time.
Hopefully.
But I guess we'll know more in just a little while during Titus's full forecast.
On Wednesday, April 3rd, Mark Etzminger, the Vice President of Student Development, announced a Student Chapel, a brand new scholarship award for those looking to get their master's with the Assemblies of God Theological Seminary. This scholarship is available to new full-time students pursuing a master's degree starting in the fall of 2024. Eligibility is limited to individuals studying in person on the campus of Evangel University. Eligible programs include Master of Divinity, Masters of Arts and Intercultural Studies, Master of Arts of Theological Studies, and a Master of Leadership in Ministry. A total of $11,000 will be awarded to 14 different scholarship recipients.
The Evangel University Fine Arts and Design Gallery will have 2 public art exhibits this month. The gallery will be featuring the work of 8 talented graduating seniors. The first exhibit will be open from April 5th to the 12th. The opening reception on the 5th will last from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The second exhibit will have its opening reception on Friday, April 19th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. as well, and will last until April 26th. The art professor at Evangel, Michael Busking, said that the students have set the bar very high and have created some tremendous work. The art gallery is located inside the Barnett Fine Arts Center on EU's campus and is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Admission to the exhibit is free and open to the public.
Opening night for Fiddler on the Roof will be tonight at 7 p.m. in the Barnett Fine Arts Theater. With more on the story is Emilio Chavaria.
This year's play, Fiddler on the Roof, will be opening April 4th at 7 p.m. The cost for the tickets will be $22 for adults, $15 for seniors, $15 for a child, and it'll cost $10 for any EU student with an ID.
So Fiddler on the Roof is full of high-energy dances in first act, lots of singing, and then in the second act we begin to really see the emotion of the story.
Fiddler on the Roof is an event hosted by the EU Humanities Department. Showtimes will be April 4th and 6th, April 12th and 13th, April 14th, and April 16th.
Very family oriented, and there's a lesson in every scene, and I think there's just something that you can learn from it, and also we worked really hard for it, but I think overall it's really it really pulls at your heartstrings.
This event was made possible by Gary S. and Janet D. Cook. This is a great opportunity to come out and watch A Fiddler on the Roof. This has been Emilia Chavarria, reporting to you for Newswatch.
Evangel University is inviting you to attend the last edition of their book club on Wednesday, April 10th at 3 p.m. The guest speaker will be Dr. Rick Waldham Jr., who is presenting his own book titled The Theology of the Spirit in the Former Prophets, a Pentecostal Perspective. The book is based on the author's own PhD dissertation. This event will take place on the Evangel campus in Kendrick Library. Everyone is welcome to attend and enjoy what is said to be the most comprehensive study of the role of the Spirit in the former prophets to date. On Monday, the business department hosted the inaugural session of the Schmidgall Panel Series. The series was facilitated by the Future Business Leaders of America student chapter. They reached out to business department alumni and advisory council to gather a variety of different majors who've used AI in their workplaces. The panelists included Bruce Castle in finance, Travis Bradshaw in marketing, Melinda Love in investments, Ron Bogert in management, and David Main, who is also in marketing. They all gave their practical experience on how each of their fields uses AI for their betterment. The panel was highly attended as lots of interested students packed the classroom.
Robots. Yeah. Stanley. We're going to push $600 million company this year. We're still running really, really light for our sites.
Ray Schmidgall and his wife donate money to the university, to the business department every year. And so they donated for specific kind of purposes. And one of the things they're wanting to do is say, hey, you know, get some type of like panel series, lecture series that the students would be really interested in. It was actually like standing room only in there yesterday, which was quite astonishing to me. You know, even though we might give extra credit, you know, there might be a class 2 that required it, there was a lot more people attending than just people were required to go or going for extra credit. So there was quite a bit of interest in that topic.
The business department hasn't announced any further panels, but be on the lookout in the news for new updates. Up next, total solar eclipse crosses the nation this week.
And we'll have a special guest here to talk about the musicals at Evangel University. We'll hear more about that when we get back from this break.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
On Monday, April 8th, a total solar eclipse is taking place and will cause darkness in parts of North America. A total solar eclipse happens when the moon passes between the sun and Earth and completely blocking the face of the sun and therefore casting a shadow on our planet. This rare celestial phenomenon last occurred in 2017, but will not happen again for a couple decades. According to NASA, this eclipse will last longer than the previous one due to the moon being closer to the Earth than usual. 15 states are expected to experience the total eclipse, ranging from the southwest U.S. to the northeast. NASA is offering a live stream for people to safely watch the event because staring at the sun during the eclipse can cause eclipse blindness. Normal sunglasses will not be enough to protect your eyes, and only special eclipse sunglasses should be worn during the solar eclipse. Glasses should only be removed when the moon completely covers the sun. Cameron Lee is standing by with a special guest. Cameron?
Thanks, Austin. Today we have Ben Paris here to talk about the upcoming musical Coming to Evangel. Thanks for being here today, Ben.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So kind of tell us, what is the show that we can expect to see this semester?
So tonight's opening night, and it's Fiddler on the Roof. So it's a lot of people know it. It's been made into movies, and a lot of popular songs come from it. I'm sure it's a little too early for me to do anything, but I won't do anything. But I won't sing. But I'm sure people know a lot of the songs. It's a great musical, so I'm very blessed to be in it.
So you said you're in it. What is your role in the musical?
So I am playing Tevye. Tevye is the main character in the musical. He's a dad. He has 5 daughters. I'm a girl dad, which I'm not in real life. I'm not a dad at all. So I had to do a lot of research on that and everything. It's a great. He has that roughness of being a dad. In a very traditional Jewish setting, but also he has that heart of just a dad who loves his girls. So it's a great role.
That's awesome. So I know you're currently on staff here at Evangel, but how did you find yourself doing theater with students?
Yeah, so I graduated last spring, so class of 2023, and I did theater all throughout college. It was my minor when I was here. And I fell in love with it. I love the directors. Dr. Wisdom and Professor Lawley are 2 very close people to me. I always kind of did theater and loved it so much. And they kind of presented this idea. This is Dr. Wisdom's last show. So she presented this idea like, hey, you want to come back and see what we can do? And I was like, yeah, well, I'd love to be in the ensemble. And then they're like, actually, we're going to give you the lead. And I was like, okay, yeah. So they give it to me, so I spend, I get here at 8 a.m. for work, and I go right from work right into another day. So on stage for about 6-7 hours every night. So it's a lot.
That is a lot. That is so much. So how did you find yourself in theater in general? I know you said you've done some theater in your past and you studied it here, but what really got you started in the theater aspect?
Sure. Well, like most people, when your parents sign you up for like 2nd grade choir or that Christmas musical that goes on at your church when you're younger, that's what I did. I got started off with that, and I kind of just got hooked. I've always been more of an athlete. I loved football. I was supposed to come to Evangel for football. I loved it. And I didn't have time to balance it out, so I had to pick one, and theater won. So I just loved it, and being able to perform in front of a live audience is so much fun. The adrenaline it's great. So yeah, I love it.
Of all the shows that you've done in your past, what has been your favorite show, and more importantly, your favorite role that you've played? They don't have to be the same, but.
Sure, that's hard. I do love this role a lot. I think if I had to pick one, I would probably say I played Charlie Brown here when we did You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. But I'd say so far, this one is really close to taking the cake. So get back with me in 2 weeks, and I'll let you know.
After you've felt the full force of
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof. So kind of tell us, lay out, what is the story of Fiddler on the Roof?
Yeah, so it takes place in Anatevka, Russia, and it is a traditional Jewish family who they're going through these trials of, like I said, I have 5 daughters, and they are slowly but surely kind of breaking traditions. In the Jewish life, there are a lot of traditions. The way you pray, the way you eat things, and it's just a lot of traditions, a lot of set rules, and things get in the way of those traditions. Love interest is one of the biggest ones. So all the daughters, they find love in different men, and it just hurts the father to kind of see them leave. So you see a lot of different trials of love, family, faith. It's a great show. I love it, and it helps that I love it a lot. So I'm hoping other people will, and usually that's the consensus so far.
Okay, good. So kind of tell us what nights is the show showing, or what days, and then where is it at and when can we see it?
Sure. So tonight we have a show. So usually the shows are at 7 p.m. So we will have a show Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. We take kind of a week off, and then we'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. And then we have one Tuesday show that following week, just a random Tuesday. So, but it's going to be great. It's going to be in the Barnett Theater, which is going to be in the Fine Arts Building. Tickets, you can get them online for this weekend. Maybe if you're lucky, they're running out. But I do know that the next weekend we have plenty of seats. So.
And do you know if there's a price for those? And for students, is it a little different?
Oh yeah, students, it's nice. It's $10 tickets. Okay. So make sure you get your tickets. It would be super smart to get them now. Mm-hmm. But I do know that, like for adults, it's going to be $20. Okay. And I know for seniors, it's $15. So definitely get on that because they're selling out crazy fast.
All right, well, we're excited. I'm excited to see the show. I'm definitely going to come see it. I think I have tickets for next weekend, so I'll be there, don't worry. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for telling us more about the musical. It was exciting to hear all that is coming up in the theater department. Let's go back to the desk with Austin and Titus.
Thanks, Cameron. So, Titus, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, we're looking at fairly fluctuating temperatures, a little bit of hot and cold. We'll also be seeing that eclipse on Monday, which is exciting to talk about. But more on that and more on my full forecast.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
A 7.4 magnitude earthquake, followed by several aftershocks, struck off of the east coast of Taiwan on Wednesday morning, killing at least 9 people and injuring 963 others. According to Taiwan's fire department, the earthquake, which damaged buildings and caused landslides, was the largest to hit Taiwan in 25 years and was also felt in parts of China. Overnight, at least 143 people remained trapped under rubble, authorities said, including more than 70 quarry workers. Austin, I can never, ever compare anything to the devastation that they're experiencing right now. But we did have a little scare of our own when it comes to, weather and the movements. We had a little tornado scare.
That just means that it's officially springtime in Missouri. Titus, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the spring week?
Well, we'll luckily be looking at more consistent weather for the most part, but starting with today's forecast. We are, as a recap, looking at a low temperature of 39. Humidity is about 68 with winds in the 9-mile-an-hour range, about just making a little more chillier than perhaps it might actually be. As far as the high, it is going to get to 58, but all day we're looking at sunny weather, even sunnier as the day goes on, humidity and wind staying about the same. Comparing this day to averages and such, we are actually looking at colder weather today than usual compared to the average, and we've had already a 0.5 above average for precipitation this month. Onward to the satellite, we have a little bit of a storm forming here, winds cycling through this area. We also have some clouds and winds moving across the east coast for our Atlantic people. And Missouri is mostly going to be avoiding most of this weather, luckily. But we may look at more weather later on in the week. Moving on to radar, we have over here the storms I had mentioned, plus some in the northwestern area. That storm is actually over the Boston area and Wisconsin, but is going to be traveling down. We will avoid most of it. And luckily, nothing seems to be too severe. Back over here to our Missouri temperatures, we're looking at a 58 and about the same in our surrounding area. It's going to dip down significantly in Illinois, Springfield, about to 45. But overall, temperatures are going to be fairly consistent across the board. As far as the national forecast for pressure and such, that storm I mentioned is looking to become snow in the Ohio area, in that low pressure area. We have more storms coming in the west coast where California is, a bit of a mix of rain and snow. But again, Missouri is looking fairly well. On to our 6-day forecast. We are looking at warmer temperatures as time goes on, lows of 40 to 50 with highs of at first 65 moving on to 70. The weekend is looking mostly sunny, fantastic weather for your outdoor activities. And then of course the solar eclipse, which is on Monday. Luckily no storms, a high of 73 meaning fantastic weather for viewing, except there will be mostly cloudy, runs the risk of obstructing the phenomenon. But hopefully won't be too obstructive and will still be a sight to behold nonetheless. As we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, we're looking at scattered thunderstorms and a slight dip in temperature on Wednesdays. Be mindful of that, but it, again, should not be too alarming. We'll know more about that as time goes on. One final note that I would like to leave you with is the shadow spanning across America around 1 or 2 o'clock. The area we are in, Springfield, is looking at about 90% coverage. We'll never get that 100% coverage, so you'll need to make sure you're wearing some kind of eye protection. And Missouri is looking at a range of 70% to 100% where that dark circle is. That is actually the 100% coverage area, and it is in the South Missouri and North Arkansas area, about where Polar Bluff is. So if you are in that area, you will have a brief window where the sun is completely covered and you can look at it without the sunglasses. Otherwise, make sure you wear them to protect your eyes. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Titus. I'm excited for the eclipse. I got to get me some of those cool glasses that are approved, of course.
I know, you just don't want to get blind.
No,
Go blind.
I don't want to go blind.
Just by looking at the sun.
Yeah.
And just around the corner, Titus Smith will be back to give us the latest in sports.
This and more when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
Today is National Vitamin C Day, a day that honors a nutrient that offers health benefits to people both inside and out. Vitamin C plays a significant role in people's diets, and it's important to appreciate and learn about all the different ways that vitamin C can benefit our health. Vitamin C helps to ward off colds, reduce blood pressure, and even lower the risk of heart disease. It also protects your skin from sunlight, heat, and pollution, keeping it healthy and free from harmful toxins. So today you might want to consider eating an orange or having a glass of orange juice to celebrate National Vitamin C Day. You know, Cameron, I did not originally know that today was Vitamin C Day.
It's crazy that we just need to take another sip of our orange juice before we leave the house, just to celebrate a little bit more. You know who needs more vitamin C than the average human being? Athletes. And speaking of athletes and sports, Titus, is there anything to note this week?
Well, the heads of Evangel's soccer teams, Coach Kyle Beard and Coach Bruce Deaton, have announced that the soccer schedule for the 2024 season. There are 16 games for the men and 17 games for the women, and they span between the late August and early November. 2 of each of their matches will be against NAIA schools that were placed in the top 25 or received votes to win it all in the previous season. Meanwhile, 7 of these matches are at home for the men, where 8 are at home for the women. The admission to home games are free, and they will be played at the Coryell Field. On to national news, the Buffalo Bills have traded Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans. The 4-time Pro Bowler was traded for draft pick compensation, which the Buffalo Bills hope to use to build a strong team around Josh Allen. Meanwhile, the Texans have spent the most guaranteed money this offseason. They hope to pair Diggs with other playmakers such as running back Joe Mixon and quarterback C.J. Stroud, who was the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Because of the trade, the Bills now have a dead money charge of $31 million for Diggs this season. This is the highest known dead money charge for a wide receiver in any season all time. Finally, the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to make renovations to the Arrowhead Stadium, while the Royals strive to build a new one. In order to do so, a sales tax was put on the ballot in Jackson County to help fund the $3 billion stadium and $800 million renovations. However, the proposition was turned down by voters, one primary concern being the lack of transparency in the bill. Those in power are currently discussing other options, such as reforming and resubmitting the bill, attracting more private investment, or even moving the teams to another city or state. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Titus. Honestly, it's a little sad to hear maybe they're moving to a different city or a different state. That's like our teams.
I would hate that. And as a member of the Evangel soccer team, I can say that I'm very excited for the fall season coming up.
That's true. It's coming.
And when we get back, a father becomes his daughter's own stylist to make her feel comfortable.
And Titus is with us for one final look at the forecast. All of this when we return.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
In Boston, Massachusetts, a dad has come up with an adorable ritual aimed at avoiding meltdowns over what his daughter wears on school nights. Dad turns into her own personal stylist, presenting her several options to choose from, and people on social media think that it is genius. A simple, let's pick an outfit for tomorrow morning from a 5-year-old Penelope Capanova led to a nightly routine with her dad, as mom explained on TikTok, because their morning tears and arguments about school outfits absolutely scarred him. He says he lays out 4 outfits and the sassy 5-year-old chooses which one and shakes on it to promise not to change her mind the next morning. This method has led to a far more successful school year for the dynamic duo. I tell you what, that might be the cutest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that is so adorable.
It's a good plan.
And speaking of plans, he probably has to consider the weather for the week, right?
Plan some warm outfits.
Yeah, so Titus, what can you tell us about this week's weather?
Well, this week's weather is looking to be warmer than today. As we get to the weekend, we're looking at those 70-degree temperatures. Mostly sunny, thankfully. But as we get to Monday with that eclipse, partially cloudy, but the weather will be just as warm and friendly. Thunderstorms, however, will be on Tuesday and Wednesday. Make sure, scattered at least, make sure to look out for that. And the temperature will begin to dip back down on Wednesday. But overall, the week is going to be overwhelmingly warm and friendly. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Titus. Turns out we're actually going to have to pack for maybe some warmer weather instead of colder weather.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
to it.
for a change. And that's all for us today. I'm Austin Mickey.
And I'm Cameron Lee. For more on EUTV and for the latest Evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com. This has been Newswatch Today.